Hi guys, Richard Liu here, editor at NZ Entrepreneur magazine, and today we're celebrating Global Entrepreneurship Week. Now, what is Global Entrepreneurship Week, you may be asking? Well, I've got here with us from Wellington, Marwan Jamal, and Marwan is from the Global Entrepreneurship Network from New Zealand, co-organisers of Global Entrepreneurship Week, and he's going to talk to us today and tell us all about what the occasion is, what the work is that the Global Entrepreneurship Network does, and a bit about his role as well. So, Marwan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's get straight into it. Who exactly is the Global Entrepreneurship Network?
Yeah, sure. So the Global Entrepreneurship Network is a year-round platform that exists globally, celebrating and supporting entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial ecosystems all around the world. They have initiatives in more than 185 countries, and they celebrate entrepreneurship throughout the year through events and through initiatives, and their main celebration is the Global Entrepreneurship Week, GEW. So the GEW was the main, the first seed and the beginning of the Global Entrepreneurship Network more than a decade ago. About 12 years ago, the idea came in the States where they wanted to celebrate and create a global week where entrepreneurship is supported. Started with a few countries, and they started this. It's been always the second week of November, and throughout the years and throughout the time, the numbers grew. Right now, with more than 180 countries celebrating the Global Entrepreneurship Week, and having the Global Entrepreneurship Network represented as independent entities or as entities to support ecosystems in more than 80 countries around the world. So it's been quite a successful way to expand and to grow initiatives supporting and promoting entrepreneurship across the world. That involves celebration, education, pushing for policies, pushing for inclusion, and more.
Fantastic. And can you tell us a bit about the work that's being done here in New Zealand as part of Global Entrepreneurship Network? Now, you were involved in Global Entrepreneurship Network over in Saudi Arabia, and recently, last couple of years, you've helped establish, I guess, the New Zealand chapter. Can you tell us a bit about your background? How did you get involved in entrepreneurship, in the startup scene, and how did you get involved with Global Entrepreneurship Network?
Yeah, it all started back in 2015-16 when I first moved from the States back to Saudi Arabia, which is home for me. And back then, we did not have an entity or Global Entrepreneurship Network as an entity right there in Saudi. Yet we had a few successful years of celebrating the week, the Global Entrepreneurship Week. When I arrived right there in Saudi Arabia, it was the early days of growing and healthy ecosystem for entrepreneurs, with more than many initiatives, and government, the Saudi government back then was working on building the SME authority, or Small and Medium Enterprises Authority, that's now called Munchat. So back then we needed a lot of resources to help us build the ecosystem and build the scene, and where we can get where we get to learn from experiences and from benchmarking other countries and looking what has been done out there. The Global Entrepreneurship Network proved to be a good resource for us, where we can reach out to many supporters in different countries and different continents that have done the same thing and have provided a lot of support to entrepreneurs. That helped us to know and understand where should we start, how to explore, and how to do, and what to do with entrepreneurs, with the enablers, with the government, what's the role of each one, and how we can all create a network where we can collaborate and work together. Stayed in Saudi right there after we launched the Global Entrepreneurship Network in Saudi Arabia in 2017. Stayed until 2019. Early 2019 was the year we moved to New Zealand. And by the time I got here, I reached out to my old friend Dave Mosk, who is right now my partner in crime and our chairman in running and launching Gen New Zealand as an entity right here. Dave has been quite supportive for the ecosystem and for the scene right here in New Zealand for quite a few years and running few initiatives for the Global Entrepreneurship Network. And it was the time for us to work together and collaborate and bring this up and making it happen. So together we started drafting what we can do, running our first conference in February 2019, February 2020. In February 2020, it was 50 of us coming in a room, just discussing what the ecosystem needs, what our shared vision is, and what we need, and how can Gen provide the resources that are needed to support and grow the ecosystem right there. From there, the seed was planted. We started working on building a strategy on how to get the network together and how to work collaboratively together, just to get the ecosystem and all the enablers having the entrepreneurs as their main focus and our main customer to serve, and just to focus on helping them succeed and prosper. Of course, that timed with COVID being right here in the COVID pandemic around the world. A lot of challenges, but also it enabled us to reach out to regional areas online, and the virtual the conversion to virtual world or the virtual communication setting helped us a lot in just becoming more able to reach out to different regions. Throughout the years, so 2020 was the first conference, mostly building and growing. By the end of the year, we established the Global Entrepreneurship Network in New Zealand as a trust. We worked on building the official legal entity, and we got with us 5 trustees. So it was myself, Dave Moskovitz, Jonathan Ortmans, Catherine Blaney, and Pascal Hibotron. All of us together, we started working on building the ecosystem, building the network for Gen New Zealand, and getting everyone to work together and to collaborate and to exchange. It was inspirational to seeing what happens when you get people together and when you push people to collaborate and work together. There is a lot of goodness in our key players in the ecosystem, and all of us putting hands together enable things to grow and move much faster. Later that year, we started working on the Entrepreneurship Manifesto, which had the requests of the scene or of the ecosystem to the government on how we want the ecosystem to be developed and where are the gaps and where we need the support. 5 different sectors or 5 different parts of the ecosystem that were delivered in a manifesto with all of our members working and contributing to it. Yes, 6 editors or 6 authors. However, everyone provided their insights, everyone provided their comments, reviews, and all of us together made that happen. When that was delivered to the government, later on led to MB asking us to run a workshop on how we want the ecosystem work together and what would be the right approach to develop the startups action plan. And of course, led by MB, facilitated by the Gen team and the network right there with about 40 individuals from our community participating right there to deliver the thoughts and the ideas on what we need. Helped on shaping the startups committee or the startup council right there that is right now working on developing the scene. In 2021, the second version of the conference hosted about 120 participants from all around New Zealand. And that showed that our network then represented more than 70 companies or entities supporting entrepreneurs across New Zealand that are willing to work together, exchange notes, and just to support entrepreneurs. As a platform or as a network, we show that we are capable of working together. We are capable of providing a network or an umbrella that belongs to everyone, owned by the ecosystem and owned by the scene, just to give us a word that is listened to by the government and by the policymakers, and provide us with a channel where we can deliver what we need and what we want. All of this continued growing. Initiatives right now are happening. We're expecting the unconference to happen again in February next year in 2022. This week, the Global Entrepreneurship Week, we're celebrating with our partners, with our entrepreneurs right there, entrepreneurship and success and growth in the ecosystem and in the scene. It is sad to see this pandemic impacting our economy this hard and impacting our entrepreneurs. But our purpose in this week, especially this year, to say that we are here for you and we are here to support you all. And as an ecosystem, we are willing to work together just to make our entrepreneurs thrive and survive and prosper in the future.
Well, that's a fantastic overview. Thanks, Marwan. And yeah, you mentioned there the Entrepreneurship Manifesto, which was put out in 2020. And for anyone who hasn't been able to read a copy, we'll provide a link to where you can go and download a copy of that manifesto. Really, truly a collaborative sort of effort on behalf of, representing many different organizations within the startup ecosystem, as you say. And it was a great initiative to sort of be able to collate a lot of those thoughts and put them forward for government. So yeah, worthwhile checking out. So Marwan, thank you very much for joining us today once again. And hey, keep up the great work. We're looking forward to the next unconference. That's the Global Entrepreneurship Network New Zealand unconference, which you say is scheduled for February 2022 there in Wellington. So if you're an ecosystem enabler, as Marwan said, so if you're working with any organization that supports entrepreneurship, startups, tech ecosystem, or otherwise, even SMEs, then yeah, I'd highly encourage you to go and check out Gen New Zealand and join up with them. The guys are doing some great work, and yeah, join the growing movement of organizations who are helping build entrepreneurship in New Zealand. So Marwan, thank you very much for joining us, and happy GEW.
Yes, happy GEW. Thank you. Thank you for having me.